prefer not to find out.
I'm tired, man. Whew.
That's enough! Tell me where it is.
I can't do that.
Fuck you, where is it?
You're making a mistake.
Fuck you, where is it?
That's all this has ever been, isn't it?
A partnership only insofar as it enables you to do whatever it is that matters to you in any given moment. And right now,
How are you going to explain it to her? She believes in this as much as I do. You know this. If it costs the war to save her, you'll have lost her anyway. Even you cannot construct a story to make her forgive you that.
Woo! Oh god, how much time is left? Oh shit, we got enough time for a fight. Oh, Flint really doesn't want to do this.
No! Don't!
Wow, they're still gonna try to fight him. Oh, Flint. Oh shit. Fucking slaughter. Alright, that was season 4, episode 9 of Black Sails. Where to begin? I'm not entirely certain. I'll start with this. That was, I don't want to say my favorite, one of my favorite episodes of the show. That's number 1. Number 2, one of the best episodes of the show. I want to say best or favorite, but there's so many great episodes, starting with Charlestown episode, finale to season 2, which is still, if it's not my favorite, like right up there. I'd say this is the episode where I really started, or am starting, granted only one episode left, to question whether or not this is the best show I ever watched. I'll say towards the middle of the season, I started to, put it in the conversation, my favorite shows. But this episode, now I have to think, is it? Is it my favorite show ever? I don't know. I can't answer that question. There's Black Sails, there's Game of Thrones, there's The Wire, there's The Shield, which doesn't get nearly enough credit, and there's House of Cards, and there's Breaking Bad. Those are my 6 now. A lot of people want me to discount Game of Thrones because of the last season. Even if you think it's the last 3 seasons from 5, 6, and 7, that's still 4 amazing seasons. So, I like 5 and 6. And 7 was alright for what it was. Oh, right, I wanted to bring this up. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place. And as tends to be the case with these Black Sails episodes. Number 1, what they've done with Billy, visually, I didn't catch until sometime yesterday. I was just on the train thinking about it randomly. But in the first season, where he's, young new guy, right? He's completely clean cut. He's got tall strapping. He's got a smoothened face, nothing on it. Then the second season is a little more gruff, a little more rough when we find him, right? Because he's been killed, we think, by Flint, and his voice is different. It's a little more raspy. You can't even. And he's a little gruffer. Then in season 3, he's got facial hair going, etc., etc. Then in season 4, in the beginning, every time we see this man, he's got dirt on his face. It's like this slow descent. Then there's that fight at that plantation, and then he gets the shit kicked out of him, and he's just a mess by the time he turns on everybody. It's a brilliant visual thing. I didn't even notice it. Just kind of slow descent into the abyss. And this episode, he starts to look a little better. And I'm wondering, first of all, I wonder if it was intentional. I think it is. And number 2, if that's the case, I wonder if we're going to see some type of redemption from Billy. You let that guy go, right? I wonder if we see some redemption from Billy this last episode. I hope so. I don't want to dislike Billy. It's kind of weird with all the great performances this episode from Flint and Silver and Maddie and Israel Hand. I start with Billy. Random thought. I'll say this. This is, as great as Silver is, as great as Jack is, this is the Captain Flint show. And he was in all his splendid glory, not only in the flashback, but here. First of all, we saw Silver got the fight. That's number 1. Number 2, his, I can listen to him talk about anything. He's talking about swordplay, past, is everything poetic? Oh, it was brilliant. And I think he gets a bad rap. Is he completely self-absorbed and obsessed with his own selfish and occasionally unselfish mission? Yes. But I think we saw the man does care about things. Thomas, Miranda, Mr. Gates, that didn't go so well. And Silver. Just killed that guy. His partner in crime. His new partner in crime. To save Silver's life. Flint's pushing it. I told you he's number 3. By the way, I finished my top 25. I wrote it all out. I got them all down to the letter. Even have some honorable mentions. I'm going to try to do that. I'm not going to have time today. I'm not going to have time tomorrow. Or Saturday. I changed my goddamn calendar. I'm going to say Monday. Monday, I'm going to try to have my 25 up and ready and running. This episode had absolutely everything I could have possibly wanted. It had great Flint moments. It had a good flashback. It had some brotherhood stuff. It had some great fights. How could I forget, what's his face? I'm talking about great performances. Not only Maddie, who gave a fantastic speech. Right up there with all Flint speeches. Right up there with Vane's speech in Charlestown. Right up there with Vane's speech with to Eleanor. He tells her, beg them to keep the things you already have. Which, I'm trying to get a tattoo on my chest, straight all the way down. That speech was amazing. And not only did she have a great performance, Rogers gave it, you just see this, the way he was talking about what happened is completely delusional. Completely removed himself from any and all responsibility. Which you did. What? And what planet is that even kind of makes sense? But it's a tough thing to accept. That you're responsible for killing the person you love. So, there's no wonder he's kind of shut that part of his brain off. To where it's all on this thing he hates. It's their fault. They made me go do that. And then, fantastic. Definitely the best villain the show's ever had. Unless you count Flint a villain. Then it's Flint. And it was funny. Look at the dude dropping dead. Which is fucked up. I mean, he's dead. And then Jackson. You know what? And then the fights. It's hard for me. Listen, it's 2 episodes. It's this one and Charlestown. It's between those 2. Because as great as the episode was, it's hard for me to forget Vane's speech. It's hard for me to forget Flint telling they were right to be afraid. It's close. It's close. Now, I heard there was some criticism about this season, about the pacing. To me, outside of whatever episode Eleanor dies, which is where the pacing was like, whoa, all right, that was jarring. Pacing doesn't bother me. I prefer this pace. I prefer this kind of super fast movement. Reminds me of season 2, that Ned Low? Yeah, season 2. Remember season 2 a little bit. A little fast in season 2, but that's my favorite season. As right now, this is pushing it. Depending on how this last episode goes, this might end up being my favorite season. Right now it's 2, then 4. A lot of people think 3 is the best. 2, then 4, then 3, then 1. That's my list so far. Post your comments over down below. Like, share, subscribe.